And welcome to 302 Sports here live from Dagsboro, Delaware, Indian River High School for the #1 Milford Buccaneers as they travel down south to Dagsboro. I know many upstate people don't even know where that's at, but it's down here south Delaware in the middle of the county at Indian River High School. The #3 Indian River Indians tonight host Milford Buccaneers. Joining me tonight is Mark Williams. And Mark, welcome back. Match of the week. We're back together again,
Back again. Every time you come down south, it seems I'm able to join you.
Good thing. Well, let's talk about this matchup tonight. We have the #1 Milford Buccaneers, 9-time state champions. 2 of those came in Division I back in the 80s. The Bucs so far this year, they've won the Polytech and the Milford Invitational, and they were second here at the Battle of the Beach and second to an outstanding Westchester East squad.
Yeah, I came down here Friday of that tournament, and Westchester was knocking kids off left and right, and Milford was hanging right there with them. They had a really good weekend. Some kids beat some really good kids that weekend. It was a good team performance from them.
The Buccaneers head coach Don Parsley has won 5 of those titles for the Bucs. And let's talk about the 3-time state finalist Indian River Indians, coached by Jeff Windisch, and Jeff Windisch has been the head coach of all those teams that went to the finals, date back to 2008. The Indians are coming off a 6-1 performance. They won the King of the Mat duels in Baltimore last weekend, defeating Dunbar in the finals 41-32, and they lost to Dunbar in the pool play and came back and beat them.
Yeah, very impressive to come back and win like that. It's hard to beat somebody twice, for Dunbar's sake, but it speaks a lot to Coach Windisch and his team that they're very resilient.
Both teams are 3-0 in the Henlopen South. Milford has wins over Seaford, Delmar, and Laurel, the team they beat last year in the state finals. But the Bucs also knocked off the #1 team in Division I in Cesar Rodney in an outstanding 33-30 duel back in December.
Yeah, Milford's this year they seem like they're the team to beat in the state, not alone in D2 but in D1 as well. They got a couple more D1 matchups coming up, but they're definitely making it known that they're here to wrestle with anybody.
Yes, they are. They right now they are they're the #1 team in the state, both divisions, no doubt. And Indian River comes in also 3-0 in the Henlopen South with wins over Seaford, Laurel, and Woodbridge. So both teams at 3-0. Woodbridge in third place, tied with Lake Forest at 2-1, and then Delmar 0-2, Laurel 0-3, Seaford 0-3. So tonight, it's the inside track to the Henlopen South and the automatic bid to the state tournament.
Yeah, tonight's going to decide who's going to be probably #1 overall seed in the D2 tournament, and probably who's going to be the #3 seed.
Mark, when you talk about Indian River, I tell you what, when I wrestled Indian River my sophomore year, and what reminded me of it today is I came to Beach Route because it's almost impossible to get into Millsboro at rush hour. So I came to Beach Route, and I rode by Lord Baltimore Elementary School. Mm-hmm. My sophomore year at Sussex Central, Indian River wrestled their home matches at Lord Baltimore. That's where they practiced, and that's where they wrestled their matches. So they've come a long way. They're allowed in the high school now.
Yeah, right.
And so they're allowed in the high school, and now under Jeff Windisch, we've got a nice wrestling room off to our left. It's dedicated to them during the winter. And 2008, the Indians put themselves on the map when they made the first of 3 state finals. I believe they lost to They got caught up in that Hodgson run.
Yeah.
When Hodgson won those 6 titles. Talk a little bit, some of the coaches here, talk about this Indian River program and how they've stayed in the thick of things here in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and I think a huge testament to that is it starts at the middle school level. They don't really have too much youth activity down here anymore, but they get those kids from the middle school level, and they do a good job of keeping them in-house and teaching them how they want things done, the same language, same verbiage, and that helps when it comes to kids, learning and growing. Is if everybody's on the same page. All these coaches seem to know how to do it together and make things work. Sometimes it's not the easiest,
right?
But they seem to have done a good job, and they've been doing a good job, as you can tell, at 3-0 in the conference.
In the dual meet era, Milford, they've won 7 titles and have been in 9 finals. Don Parsley, like I said, won 5 of those. The 2 losses were in 1999 and 2000, where the Bucs they got caught up at the beginning of that Hodgson run when Hodgson went on that 6-year run.
Yeah, that run by Hodgson was no fun for anybody who was going up against them.
They knocked off the Smyrna Eagles a couple times, or at least once in that run.
Yeah, Milford, they keep getting good kids. They're in the center of the state, so they can get kids kind of from anywhere. If you're not really sure where you want to go to school, and you're looking at a wrestling school, that's definitely one that you put on your list.
Let's look at the potential matchups for tonight's match. At 106, well, first of all, Milford 4-0 this year. Indian River, that is incorrect. 10-1. I thought they had beaten when I was reading track wrestling, I couldn't quite figure out what they were trying to do there. But they did lose to Dunbar on Saturday, Friday. Came back and beat them on Saturday. Number 2, Corey Messick. He's a sophomore, 17-3. He could be facing Chris Saylor, the junior, 20-10. Saylor has been in and out of the rankings. He's been hovering around 6 right now, currently not in the rankings. At 113 pounds. 2 ranked wrestlers. Number 3 ranked Jack Cody, the freshman, at 17-5, goes up against number 6 ranked Ian Shabak, the sophomore, 23-6. That, I think, could be our match of the night.
Yeah. You look at it, and if it starts at 106, we're going to get it going early.
And then we have Trent Grant, sophomore, from Milford, versus number 2 ranked Will Rain. Will Rain, his 2 losses this year, except for the Beast, are to Ethan Gray from Caravel, 2 overtime matches.
Yes. Will Rain's had a very good start to the year.
Maybe one of the Milford has these 5 freshmen. In the next one, Tim O'Hara, the freshman, 14-6, goes up against number 4 Tajon Knight. Tim O'Hara gives you everything you want.
Everything, every time. You can't ask for much more out of him.
Avery Coates, freshman, 4-10. Don't be fooled by that 4-10 record. He has put Milford in some matches. Let's take it to the Cesar Roddy match. He's wrestling a ranked wrestler in Pat Wisniewski. He doesn't get pinned. Milford wins.
Yeah.
And he's going up against Dylan Ely. Dom Freitner at 138 against Cody Edwards. Jordan Passwaters against Cole Windish at 145. Dalton Deavy, another freshman, 152. Might see Rayshawn Turner. He did get hurt last weekend at the duels. Number 4, Gage Copes at 160 will take on Jacob Grab. Rafael Mejia against Will Keller at 70. Brevensky Agustin at 182 versus Matt Zimmerman. Eric Bennett versus Zach Schultz, number 5. Eric Bennett, number 4, and Zach Schultz, number 5. Anthony Diaz at 220 versus TJ Burke, and Jacob Bryan versus Ramon Turner.
Yeah, we've got 3 ranked matchups that sit here and looking at it. It could be a fun night.
Starting out at 106, we're getting ready to introduce the wrestlers, and then we'll get to the national anthem on the way. We are starting at 106 this evening, and down go the lights.
We'd like to welcome everyone to Indiana High School for tonight's varsity matchup featuring the Buccaneers of Milford High School.
Because we're going to cut to the public address announcer for tonight's starting lineups.
Please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. And now for our starting lineups. Starting at 106 pounds tonight, for the Buccaneers, Corey Messick. For the Indians, Chris Saylor. Wrestling at 113 pounds, for the Buccaneers, Jack Thope. For the Indians, Ian Shabak. Wrestling 120 pounds, for the Buccaneers, Trenton Grant. For the Indians, Will Rain. Wrestling 126 pounds, for the Buccaneers, Tim O'Hara. For the Indians, Tajon Knight. Wrestling 132 pounds, for the Buccaneers, Avery Copes. For the Indians, Christian Lopez. At 138 pounds, for the Buccaneers, Dom Freitner. For the Indians, Josh Edwards. Wrestling 145 pounds. For the Buccaneers, Jordan Passwaters. For the Indians, Cody Edwards. Wrestling at 152 pounds. For the Buccaneers, Dalton Deavy. For the Indians, Rashawn Turner. At 160 pounds. For the Buccaneers, Tage Coates. For the Indians, Jacob Grab. 170 pounds. Buccaneers, Rafael Mejia. For the Indians, Will Keller. 182 pounds. For the Buccaneers, Vinsky Agustin. For the Indians, Gerson Sanchez. Wrestling 195 pounds. For the Buccaneers, Eric Bennett. For the Indians, Zach Schultz. 220 pounds. For the Buccaneers, Anthony Bennett. For the Indians, TJ Burke. And wrestling at 285 pounds. For the Buccaneers, Jacob Bryan. For the Indians, Ramon Turner.
So here we go, Mark. Henlopen South action. Wrestlers going out to see, captains will meet in center mat to see who has what choice. And your thoughts so far? I was thinking coming in 9-5 split, but it looks like the Indians are without a couple guys that could hamper them a little tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. A couple names were there and a couple weren't. You know, you saw a couple guys that were injured last weekend that were out there tonight,
right,
with no other guy to bump in. So we might see quite a bit different than what you saw in the Indian River lineup.
So here we go, folks. First match, 106 pounds. We have Corey Messick, the number 2 ranked wrestler in the state, up against Chris Saylor. And like we said, he has been in and out of the rankings. He's been 6, I think, twice. Mm-hmm. So, you know, here's a chance tonight to assert himself back in those top 6.
Everybody always wants to be in the rankings. This is the time to prove it.
Milford on a 5-year run as state champions in Division II. One shy of the record held by Hodgson of 6. And that's where it'll end. Win or lose, that's where it's going to end because Milford's going to Division I next year.
Yep. We're going to see it. It's either going to be tied or Hodgson lives on.
That's right. Here we go. 106 underway. And there's the first whistle of the night. Interesting little tidbit here. Both kids came through the Hammers program, Messick and Saylor. They just wrestled at different locations.
You got quite a bit of kids coming through your program.
Yeah. Numbers down a little bit, but, you know, Mark, numbers are down youth wrestling everywhere. It's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah. Sussex Central's numbers are good, just a lot of first-year kids and not many kids staying with the sport, which is unfortunate.
Saylor able to get the whizzer. Looked like Messick was going to get the takedown as he dragged his toes, and Saylor able to reach back and whizzer and hold off the takedown attempt. So no score here with 1:25 to go in the first period. Milford in the burgundy and gold. Indian River in the white and green with the gold trim.
Both wrestlers hands on the mat, good defensive stances, but also being aggressive here. You got a shot from both kids already.
Nice body whizzer by Messick here off the shot by Saylor. Saylor subs up, looking to come through. And I believe we might have a stalemate coming in our near future here.
Yep.
And there it is.
There it is. You can almost sense those coming occasionally.
Tell us a little bit about our referee tonight. He's a Delaware ref, but I believe he lives down in Salisbury, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He travels back and forth. He's been in Delaware for quite some time. Does a great job, though, on the mat, on and off. He's a great person. Terry's a good guy. I officiated with him some, and can't say enough good things about him. 35
seconds to go first period. No score. Both wrestlers have been in on shots, but neither. And there's a double leg by Messick in deep. Looking to step left side, popping the head, and he gets it. Got to watch Spladle here. And does. Pops the head. Gets the takedown. Corey Messick up 2-0.
And this is where Messick can do his best work from on top.
Number 1 wrestler in the state is a Henlopen Conference wrestler, and Gabe Giampetro from Smyrna. Messick had a match with him already this year at the Milford Invitational. Messick actually threw him to his back to start the match. We moved to second period, folks.
Indian River's going to go down.
Saylor, I believe, is junior. He has been in in and out of the lineup for the last couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Is a kind of a spot wrestler filling in, and when they need to bump up.
And he he was a little smaller at first. He looks like he's finally filled out to that 106.
Yeah, he's a 106 now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Messick again with a half on the left side, wrist on the right. Here comes the back points and looking for the fall. Long time to be in that position there, and there's the fall. Corey Messick, he gets Milford started 6-0 with the pin.
And that's a good way to go ahead and get your team rolling if you got a kid hovering around the rankings and you pin him in the second period.
So we're going to move to 113. 2 ranked wrestlers here. Number 3 ranked Jack Cody of Milford, and number 6 ranked Ian Shabak of Indian River. We looked at some of Milford's scores so far, and boy, when they get pinning, they can put you behind in a hurry.
Yeah, when they get on a roll, there's you got to stop it quick, because if not, the bleeding's not gonna.
Cody, a freshman, 17-5 this season. Shabak, a sophomore, 23-6. And Cody often scores first with the takedown.
Very aggressive wrestler, very fast pace. He likes to get after it.
2 more. Look at Shabak's getting ready to get the reversal, and does. Cody, another wrestler coming out of the Henlopen Hammers, who will sponsor our Hammer of the Night award for our outstanding wrestler of tonight's match. The Henlopen Hammers.
Shabak's one of those kids who he likes to get scored on first, and then he gets going.
He came into the rankings late. He has not been there all season. He had a big win over Nathan Pike of William Penn at the Delcastle tournament. And Cody looking like got his leg stuck, but look at a cradle here. So it's not a bad cradle position. He gets the leg out. That should be 2, and it is. 4-2, Jack Cody. Now he's got the gable cradle, and this is trouble. 45 seconds to go. And Cody gets the pin in 1:20. So here come the Bucks.
You got to get Will Rain on the mat here to stop this.
Stop the bleeding, yes. And he's going to be going up against Trent Grant. Number 2 ranked Will Rain, 2-time state finalist, taking the mat for the Indian River Indians. Will Rain, 18-5. He's a junior. Trent Grant, sophomore, 8-3. We're underway at 120 pounds. Indian River Indians lead 12-0 after the first 2 matches of the night. Mark, I want to apologize for the dark print on our sheet tonight. Just found out I'm out of color ink, apparently.
Yeah, I have my head up in the air trying to look down, but it's a little difficult.
Takedown for Will Rain, and he's up 2-0. Printed it in grayscale. We'll do the best we can.
Yeah. Rain cuts, going to go back to his feet, from his feet where he wrestles his best.
As we said, Will Rain, number 2 in the state, 2-time runner-up. Oh, there he throws him to his back. He's gonna get the 2. His two of his losses this year are to the number 1 ranked wrestler, Ethan Gray, and both of those were overtime matches and high scoring. Both guys scored over 10.
That Delcastle match, he actually led up until they went to overtime. He got taken down as time expired, or right before.
Right. Will Rain, runner-up at 106 as a freshman, 113 as a sophomore, now up to 120. And we didn't see much of him in the beginning of the season.
No, I
don't know if that was an attempt to go to 13 or what, but he's in the lineup at 120. And
he looks good at 120. I think that's where his size is.
Cuts him with 35 to go. 4-2 lead. He's going to have to hustle up to get this takedown after giving the free release. And Rain, one of the characters out of the Henlopen Hammers Club. I had him for a few years, and you're not going to meet many funnier 17-year-olds.
No.
Or even when he was 15.
I took him to Virginia Beach for NHSA duels. And
throw by, takedown for Rain.
He's so quick from his feet. like you said, most kids you wouldn't cut with 35 seconds left, but Will Rain, you let him kind of do his thing.
And now we move to the second period at 120 pounds. Will Rain leads 6-2, and he's going to defer. And Trent Grant will go bottom position.
And Trent Grant's wrestling well here, especially when they're on the mat. He's wrestling, hand fighting. Just seeing Will being a little bit stronger here on their feet.
Will Rain gives him the free release. I mean, Will Rain's pinning ranked wrestlers this season. So,
and that's the kind of explosion he has.
Shot by Grant. They're able to get the one hand on the leg, but Rain gets the stoppers in and looking to go behind. Minute 35 to go here. Second period at 120. And Grant able to come back to his feet.
He's not back down, which is nice.
He's going to go rushing 2-on-1. They go out of bounds, and Rain got a shot in before they went out of bounds there.
He's so quick.
Want to make sure we thank one of our original sponsors of 302 Sports, Barkley Heating and Air. They're big wrestling people. That's John and Ginger Barkley. I want to thank them for their support of 302 Sports. They are our original sponsor for downstate telecast or broadcast.
We appreciate it. Without those guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing.
Out of bounds. Going to be a minute 7 on the clock when we restart. 4th or 6-3 lead for Will Rain. Yeah, I was looking at this these lineups coming in. I didn't think there was much moves for either team, at least not beneficial moves.
No, there's, in the past there's been some things, but this year not so much.
Rain brings them down nicely, which may have been a mistake because Grant's able to get in a funk position now.
He's got to get his head under that leg.
Probably had a referee telling him easy, easy. But you still got to bring him down hard, just not with a lot of force.
Make sure you don't leave your feet and bring him down
Grant
properly.
in on a leg. And Rain's going to go out. And that's going to be takedown for Trent Grant. As Rain did the Cardinal sin, he turned away.
Yeah, he slowed up, turned away. And that's that thing of, we talked about Milford Bucks off to 2 quick pins. They got some momentum right now. Don't let Trent Grant stay in this match.
6-5. Will Rain rises to his feet, pushes the knees away, looks, cuts, and scores. And he stays back on top 7-5. And one thing about Will Rain, when he comes to the mat, you're going to put points on the board.
Yeah, you better be ready to score.
Shot by Rain, gets in on the left leg. And looks like he wants to turn to the cradle. Grant able to scoot out. No score. 8 seconds left in the period. Two-point lead if you're Will Rain. Do you go back down and get that 3-point lead for the start of the third period?
I think you have to go down.
And we move to the third period.
As much as he enjoys being on his feet, you got to go ahead and go up 3 here.
Get the escaping. I agree with you. And that's what he's going to do. Will Rain will go into bottom position. Trent Grant, giving the number 2 ranked wrestler in the state everything he wants here tonight in this dual meet.
Doing a nice job of trapping that near leg.
Rain rises to his feet, cuts, and scores. 8-5 lead for Rain.
And if you're under the river, you had to be hoping for a bonus here.
Yeah, this is one exactly. If you're only looking at 5, maybe 6 wins in this. Oh, there's the mixer over. For Rain gets the takedown and the fall. So Will Rain does his job and gets Indian River back in it with the pin at 120 pounds, making it a 12-6 score.
And we got a nice sportsmanlike conduct there
on
Milford at the end of the match, I believe. I don't think he enjoyed the
celebration.
The frustration.
Oh, okay. I know Rain got up and pulled off the headgear, but so we're going to move to 126 pounds, where we have number 4 ranked Tajon Knight of Indian River
taking on the freshman from Milford, Tim O'Hara. O'Hara 14-6 on the year. Knight 24-3. And here comes this little bit of the freshman from Milford.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's not backing down from anybody. I think these 5 Milford freshmen have a bright future ahead of them here in the state of Delaware.
Yeah, it's not often that you see a team that is number one in the state for all across the board with four or five freshmen in the lineup.
O'Hara, he's a guy that stays after practice late, and he's going to get a takedown here. Takedown for Tim O'Hara. His little brother, wrestles with us, and Tim comes to the practice too and works out, and just becoming a student of the sport, really.
And that's the important thing, is staying active in the sport. Whether you're coaching, wrestling yourself afterwards, you got to stay active in it.
And this is almost a Hammer reunion because Tajon Knight came up to the program too. And
you got quite a bit of kids in the Indian River Milford School District.
Yes, I do. A couple at Central and not so much on the west side of the county. Harris going to have to think about cutting him loose, and he does before he gets the stall call. 2-1. Tim O'Hara leads with 38 seconds to go in the first period. 126 pounds. Milford leads Indian River 12-6 in the dual score. I think one thing you got to watch is when O'Hara goes over under, be careful. Shot by Knight. Knight able to sub up under that leg.
If O'Hara can kick his leg out here, he can get behind. Short time.
Not really in a switch lift position, but time's going to run out. And we're going to take it to the second period with a 2-1 lead for Tim O'Hara.
Knight's going to select down here.
Now Knight, who has trained with Rain for a long time, 5-6 years, is the polar opposite. He doesn't put a lot of points on the board. He just doesn't allow you to score much on him.
And a very quiet kid to Rain's outgoing personality.
That's right. He might have a reversal there, and he does. 2 reversal for Tajon Knight. Tajon Knight's dad, Toy, was a conference champion, an outstanding wrestler back in the day.
Wow. A little interesting knowledge there.
Toy Knight back in, I want to say early 90s, late 80s.
And cousin of Rashad Stratton.
And Avante Drummond.
Yeah. They've got some bloodline there.
Yes, it is.
Some wrestling blood.
And there's more Knights to come, let me tell you. There's 4 I have in my program, ranging from 6th grade down to age 5.
Wow.
And Knight looking to tilt, not there, looking for a little hazard roll. O'Hara's going to have to build a base to avoid a stall call here. 57 seconds to go in the period. Knight staying locked in on that leg. I think I almost got to go stalemate here first, do you think?
I would agree. 30 seconds ago, I felt like it was stalling on bottom, but now I feel like it's more of a stalemate situation.
And he goes hazard roll, then he gets one swipe, then he gets another one swipe. He's got to be careful. Able to keep the cross wrist. No back points on that. And 26 seconds on the restart. Yeah, that's a lot. The key to those roll through tilts, and as long as you don't have to panic if you keep the cross wrist.
Yeah.
And that's what Knight did there.
The cross wrist is the most important part of that whole move.
25 seconds to go here in the second period. 3-2, Tajon Knight. As O'Hara rises to his feet, looking to isolate a hand.
Knight's got to make a move here.
Yeah, he's going to go cut back. And not able to get any swipes. Under 10 seconds to go.
If nothing else, you got to feel good as Knight going into the third period, knowing that O'Hara's probably taken down.
Or neutral.
Yeah. It was a good, solid ride from him.
Coach
Parsley's having him going.
He's going to go down. 3-2. Tajon Knight leads. And he'll be in the top position to start the third period. O'Hara up again. He's giving up that cross. There's another cutback tilt, but O'Hara able to fight out of it. One thing I see O'Hara not doing it, he's not fighting for his hand back, that's for sure.
No, and that's where you almost see the stall on the bottom coming from if you're not fighting to get your hand free.
Now he is. Now he's going to go put a little hand fight on the bottom. And looking for an arm bar tilt. Reinforced bar.
And there's
your stall call on bottom. Knight digging for that tilt, not able to get it. Minute 18 to go.
There's a handful of wrestlers on this Indian River team that are enjoying the tilt series.
He goes to Funk, and he's going to give up 2 back.
Yeah, I believe I saw 2 swipes there. You're going to get a potentially
He's holding 2.
Potentially. Yep, potentially dangerous on that knee.
And 2 back for Knight, so he goes up 5-2 with a minute to go. And
you're going to get injury time.
Yeah, he's going to need to stretch that a little bit. We're going to get injury time. So Coach Parsley goes over and wanted to question the swipes. And I think Knight just cramped up a little bit down there on bottom.
It's an awkward position. You leave your leg there long enough, anybody's bound to get a little wrong feeling out of it.
And that's athletic director / trainer Todd Furman on the mat. I want to thank him for getting us in here tonight, allowing us to do an Indian River match. We don't get down here much. And mainly because of the internet.
Yeah, right. You get down this way, it gets even worse.
Oh, man. They have installed Wi-Fi out in their press box for football. We did a football game out there this year.
Okay.
So here we go. 1 minute left in the match. O'Hara down, bottom position. And make sure Knight's all right.
Good sportsmanship there from both wrestlers.
5-2 with a minute to go.
O'Hara quick to his feet that time. Good first move.
Yeah, and put in a little hand fight. You heard Coach Parsley yelling, "Get your hands free." And now
Knight's going to go back to that cutback, I imagine.
And trips him back to the mat, and we're out of bounds with 44 seconds to go. O'Hara quickly back to the center.
Knight's not going to get too many chances like that to hang on.
Yeah, Knight played football for the first time since Pop Warner this year and had a nice year. We did one of their games where he ended up being put in a running back position. And I tell you what, if he'd had a couple years under him.
And that's awesome. I enjoy seeing kids play
multiple sports.
I never want to push a kid to do one thing more than the other all year round. I just don't think it's good for kids. You're only in high school once.
One time, baby.
If you want to do something year round, go to college.
He can buy a car later on in life, right?
Yeah, right.
Approaching 10 seconds to go here in the match, and we're going to get a top stall this time with 11 seconds to go. So both wrestlers with a stall warning.
And I think the official kind of caught on to Knight trapping that
rear leg, yeah. Sit out attempt by O'Hara. Granby roll. And he's going to get 2 out of it.
Reversal.
Almost put him to his back.
He's going to run out of time.
And Tajon Knight's going to survive with a 5-4 decision and closes the gap to 12-9.
O'Hara shaking his head. He knew he let one slip away
there. Yes, he did.
Wrestled very good.
So we're going to move to 132 pounds. Another Milford freshman, Avery Copes. And see if you can get a name here. I don't have a name for this guy. That's not Ely. So we're underway at 126.
No announcement from the PA announce system there, so I'm not sure who this would be from Indian River.
.30 seconds into the match. And let's go ahead and there. Go behind by Copes. So Copes is going to strike first. He goes up 2-0. Now a little hazard tilt.
cross wrist wasn't very tight there. Got to make sure that stays tight. Get in a weird position. Indian River to the feet.
Cuts him and then goes right to a double leg. And we go out of bounds. 2-1 lead for Copes here at 132 pounds. So Ely, well, I believe Ely might be was he a junior or a senior? A senior not in the lineup tonight. I don't know if we have an injury there or.
I talked to assistant coach Jacob Miller earlier this week, and he said that a couple kids got banged up over the weekend. Wouldn't give me any insider information for tonight, but he just told me there will be some changes coming.
And out of bounds. I don't know if this is Lopez or not. There is a Lopez on the roster. And takedown for Copes. And he'll go up 4-1.
Coach doing a nice job of letting Lopez exhaust his energy and then capitalizing on it.
4-1 lead for Avery Copes here, and we go to the second period. And Indian River Wrestler's going to go in the bottom position. Sorry, we don't have a name for the Indian River Wrestler. And Copes in this position, watch cradle here. Gets a boot in on the left side.
Coach Parsley calling for a power half.
Yeah, he's got the boot in on the left side. And then going power half on the right.
Got to get elbow to elbow there for it to work.
And there's your cradle. Tell you, when you have arms like that and legs like that, you're a cradler.
Yep. Anybody you see walk around with.
I told him that when he started middle school. He wrestled for me also with the hammers. I told him, when you have arms like long, you're a cradler.
Yep.
And now he looks like he's going to go a little near side cradle, but Indian River Wrestler able to fight it off. Under a minute to go here in the second period at 132 pounds. With Milford up 12-9.
Cope's very heavy on top here.
Correction, Mark, it's 11-9. I forgot we lost that team point at 120 pounds. And we're going to get a whistle stop.
Stall call on Copes.
Stall call on Copes here. Up 4-1. I tell you what, he's throwing everything at him.
Yeah, he really has. Kind of surprised by the stall call.
It's not stalling just because you can't turn him.
Yeah.
Mark, one time I saw a stall call on a guy, bottom wrestler, in a cradle.
Well,
Kid you not. And that was at a conference tournament. We don't get them all right.
No, you don't. And that's something, to speak up to. The officials don't get it right every time.
That's right. But I appreciate what they do. And like you said, Terry, he just did a match.
Yeah, he
middle school match. And hustles down here. So we move to the third period. Copes is going to take neutral with 2 takedowns tonight. I like that. I like that thinking. I haven't been under this guy yet.
Yep, exactly. If you haven't been under, why go under?
Copes level change, comes back up, and he's got an opening for a shot there. He's just got to pull the trigger after that level change. And there he is, double leg.
Deep.
And he's going to switch it off to a single. Whizzer in on that left side. And Copes able to put both hands on that leg. And a trip and takedown for Avery Copes. The freshman, he's a roll guy in this lineup, and he's going to get a chance to maybe put a win on the board tonight.
Yeah.
Little impatient on the free release there.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing.
You know, a junior or senior knows to push him away.
Mm-hmm.
A freshman wants to get right back in on that leg.
You got to like it, though. He's staying close enough to take that shot. Too many kids push away and shoot from too far out, get taken down there.
He goes ahead and gives him the free release on the restart. Minute to go here in the match at 132 pounds. Avery Copes of Milford up 6-2.
Nice misdirection shot there by Copes.
In on the takedown. 8-2 for Copes.
He's up 6 now. He needs a turn.
He's in on it. Looks like he had a little claw ride there. He's getting ready to drive it over, but the unnamed Indian River wrestler able to get that knee back up and stop the turn. 30 seconds to go. One more turn would give him a major and get that point back that they lost for the unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, that point could end up being big in this match, especially in a 1 versus 3.
Gets a boot in and a stall call as he's getting a boot in and going to get a point. So it makes it an 8-3 match. Under 10 seconds to go here, and Avery Copes looks like he's going to get an 8-3 victory and put 3 more points on the board for the Bucks.
Nice, technically sound win for the freshman. Aggressive on his feet, aggressive on top, looked good throughout.
14-9 for the Buccaneers, and we move to 138 pounds where we're going to see Dom Freitner
versus Cody Edwards of Indian River. Freitner, a junior, 5-4. Edwards is a junior, 1-5 on the season.
Freitner picked up wrestling in the 7th grade, and another kid that just doesn't stay out of the room. He's there. If that room's open, he's in it.
Yeah, he trained quite a bit with Robbie Rosser back when Rosser was there. They both went down to Virginia Beach with me as well, and just a scrappy kid, just enjoyed wrestling.
Freitner subs up off his shot and gets the takedown. 2-0.
Right into that power half on the left side with a boot on the right.
And looking for the fall, and it's a minute 20 to go. Double grapes in, deep on the half, steps out and runs the half.
That's a good move there by Freitner, knowing how much time's left. Sometimes those double grapes can get you in a bad situation.
And Freitner gets the fall. Indian River goes out to a 20-9 lead here after 132 pounds. And that's going to move us to 145.
Where we have Jordan Passwaters, a senior from Milford, 8-6 on the year, versus Cole Windish, a freshman, 4-12. And I'm not so sure if that's Windish out there.
I'm not sure either. Well, it looks like his father, so.
Yeah, I see. It didn't look just like his dad.
Yeah. And I believe they introduced him, didn't they?
I'm not even sure.
Well, we're going to go with Cole Windish, the freshman. From that profile, he looks a lot like his father. If not, he's getting credit.
Take it for what it's worth.
We're at 145 pounds. Passwaters, I believe he's like 106 as a freshman.
I was going to say, he's been around for quite some time. He's one of those guys you look and go, did they get
is he still? Yeah, is he still here?
There's always those guys you look back and go, man, I can't believe they only wrestled 4 years at that school.
That's right. Two on one here by Passwaters. And there's the inside trip if he wants it. Now he's going to go Merkel. And no takedown.
And I think that's the right call there.
I believe you're correct. If he takes that straight down, it's a takedown.
Correct.
When he rolls through, he goes out of bounds.
Your supporting point steps out. His supporting point steps out.
That's right.
Be a lot easier if we could go to college rules.
Yeah. Back to that 2-on-1. Wynn just takes a shot off of it now. Pass bar's in her front head. Looking to go cradle. Has it locked up, head in the side. And rolls it through, does it the dangerous way, but he gets the takedown and the pin.
Milford's now out 26-9, and they're rolling. 152-pound match I've been excited to watch since the battle at the Bay, or battle at the beach when Turner had the injury default. You got Rashawn Turner of Indian River, a senior, 10-3 on the year, versus Dalton Deavy, a freshman, 12-6 from Milford.
And Turner, another one, in and out of the rankings. And it's just been basically he's been injured and had to default some matches. And
the match they wrestled at Battle at the Beach was very close, had injury default in the second period. I believe that happened in the quarters.
26-9 for the Indians. Deavy, the fifth of those 5 freshmen for Milford. Now, you talk about them being the future. They're the now. I mean, they've been key to this team.
Yeah, not only are they the future, they're the now. And that's got to feel good for Coach Parsley, knowing he doesn't have to worry about 5 weights for the next 4 years.
That's right. (26-9), Milford leads. Deavy gets back to the center.
Deavy doing a good job wrestling with his back to the center of the mat.
And my understanding is Turner has a shoulder injury, but I'm noticing wrestling no brace, so. Front headlock by Deavy. Goes behind and gets the takedown. 2-0, Dalton Deavy.
Right to that 2-on-1. Notice a lot of those guys from Milford going trap the back leg to
right, near side cradle.
I think you're going to get a pin. There it is.
And we are. There's your pin. 32-9 for the Buccaneers. So we move to 160.
You have number 4, Gage Copes, a junior, 13-3 on the year for the Milford Bucks, going up against Jacob Grab, a senior from Indian River, 13-13. Copes, another former Henlopen Hammer.
Yes, he is. And an older brother of the 32-pounder. And he's been 160 since he was about 8 years old. He's just
it's crazy how that works. Nice return to the
take
mat.
down for Copes.
Another one of those easy situations.
He was a place winner last year at the Eastern Nationals. And looking for the far on the bar wrist. Nice job coming around. He's a scooped ahead. Now he's got a front head and arm. Minute 30 to go. And he gets the fall. 38-9 for the Bucks. And we move to 170 pounds. And it looks like Rafael Mejia.
That's Will Keller for the Indian River Indians.
Now, Keller, he's another guy. I have him on the radar in the rankings, Mark. He's had some big wins, but he's had some important losses too.
Yes,
it's mid-season, so he has time to make it up.
He's one of those guys that can hover around, place in the Henlopen,
right,
and then end up surprising people to get on the podium at a state
tournament. Yeah, he's looking to go dump here. Mejia last year, he bounced around the lineup for the Milford Bucks, and he called him the fall guy. You know, he had to go out and take the taking on the men, the top guys, where and they, as a Southern Division school, they have a lot of flexibility in their lineup that they're able to do that. Take down by Mejia. This year, he's in a little different position.
Well, that year of getting beat up on a little bit can teach you a thing or two about yourself. And it's never fun, but somebody's got to be the fall guy.
That's right. Oh, he was in the same weight class with, I can't, the name escapes me now. Two to one, Rafael Mejia. Shot by Keller. And on a high crotch, sinks the head back into the inside. Mejia staying on that ankle. Yeah, the one thing I've noticed about the Milford wrestlers is composure. Are you noticing how even when somebody's in deep on a shot, they're composed and they're able to fight their way out of it.
Yeah, they've looked good tonight in that aspect of nothing seems to rattle them, and that's important, especially wrestling in a high emotion situation. You got to know how to control it. Both wrestlers with good shot defense.
Yeah.
Here.
Good head hands defense getting to his back. Mejia's going to get another takedown now. Off a little bear hug and just go behind. And that's going to be the end of the first period. And we'll move to the second.
You hear Coach Parsley again, near. He had that leg trapped. He was looking for a cradle. Start of the second period, 4-1, Mejia.
We move to period number 2 at 170 pounds. And the Bucks looking to tuck this thing away tonight.
Here, head on the inside, going to go for the cradle.
Six-one lead here for Mejia.
Bottom stall call here.
Kyrie Hovington, who was in his weight class last year.
Yes.
Kyrie Hovington. I think he was a conference finalist.
Mm-hmm. Blacksmith cradle.
And he's got it. Another pin for the Bucks as they increase their lead to 44-9.
We're going to move on to 182, where we have Agustin from Milford versus Matt Zimmerman of Indian River.
Agustin ranked number 5 in the state.
He's a senior, 11-5 on the year. He's another one of those guys for the upperclassmen at Milford you feel like has been there forever.
Right.
And 2 years ago, he was their fall guy.
Yeah. Well, going back to our last match with Mejia, he would weigh in with Hovington all last year, and sometimes trading pins, sometimes point shaving. With Agustin, he's got him right to his back. And this part of the Milford lineup, don't go upstairs with these guys, especially Agustin.
They do a nice job of upstairs. This is a long time here to fight.
A minute and 30 seconds, and you're in a tight head and arm. Agustin circling to the head, and there's the fall. And the Bucks have wrapped it up. They're looking for another. Last year they were the state champs. They were not the conference champs last year. They lost to Indian River and Laurel. 195, and I believe we have a matchup of ranked wrestlers here with number 4, Eric Bennett, for the Bucks, state runner-up last year. And he'll be going up against Zach Schultz in the rankings at number 5. Give me their pedigree there, Mark.
It's going to be interesting in this match. We're going to see who wants to climb and who doesn't.
Schultz 24-4 this year. Eric Bennett 10-6. I believe Bennett beat Schultz down here at the Battle of the Beach.
Yes,
Battle of
he
the
did.
Beach. In a close match.
And I believe they might have wrestled once more this year for some reason.
Bennett suffered he was started the season ranked number 2, suffered a couple early season losses. And I believe him and Mike Wright had a decent final
Yes, it did.
at Battle of the Beach.
I believe it was a decision when it was all said and done.
If everybody remembers last year in the state finals, he had Tony Weist in the finals, and he goes out and throws him in a side headlock. But Weist able to wiggle out and get the fall and go on for his 3rd state title.
Schultz doing a nice job of shot defense there, going straight to the leg. It was impressive. Don't see big boys move like that too much. I didn't move like that.
50-9, the Milford Buccaneers lead. And 3 matches left in the contest. We'll have a Hammers wrestler of the night who we'll interview at the end of the match. Next Wednesday night, folks, our match of the week is the rivalry. Smyrna and Caesar Rodney get it on next Wednesday night.
That should be a fun one.
Expect a packed house.
Looked like Smyrna had everybody back to full strength in their lineup last duel.
Down at Virginia Duels, yeah. Suffered that loss to Cape Henlopen with 3 starters out. But had everybody back for that weekend for Virginia Duels, so we'll see. They have a chance to rise back up in the rankings and win a conference title.
That was the first time Cape Henlopen's ever defeated Smyrna.
I believe in school history, yeah. Yep. I've been trying to think of a year, and maybe the 90s, but I don't even think the La Biondo Noakowski crew beat them. I think Smyrna beat them that year.
Yeah, I think I saw a newspaper article that was the first time, so congrats to Coach Mattioni.
Yeah, good job for the Vikings. Just under 2 minutes to go, second period action underway. Schultz with a little slide by. Oh, and Bennett hits the slide by. Comes right back with his own.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. Let me try mine. But unable to score. 1:35 to go. Second period.
Like you were saying, Benny, this is where the Milford kids like wrestling up top. Schultz loves wrestling up top. So we're going to see quite a bit of Russians to throw bys. It's going to be all upper body here.
Why drop to your knees if you don't have to? You got to just bring it all back up again, right?
Yep. It's just a lot of weight to be moving around.
A little shrug by Bennett, and they go out of bounds with 56 seconds to go in the second period. 1-0 lead for Schultz. Schultz goes to the 2-on-1, but Bennett circles out. 45 seconds and counting to go here, second period. 1-0 lead. Milford leads the duel 50-9.
You feel the pace definitely slowed in this match.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, brings the head down, gets the leg, gets the single. Bennett faces him, gets a whizzer in. And take down Schultz. He goes up 3-0.
Right to a one-on-one with a bar. He's going to come out front and run it. Might not be enough time here for anything.
10 seconds to go in the period. Looking to run the half side, or looking to go big cookie. Not there. Comes back to the bar. And time is going to run out. We'll move to the third period. Yeah, sometimes in these blowout matches, this is the battle within the war.
Yep.
Here at 195, 2 ranked guys, number 4 and number 5.
And you're wrestling a team sport, but also you got individual conferences and states.
Granby roll by Bennett. He's going to get stuck there. and then get the reversal. So 2 back, and then the reversal. And no backs. Bennett on top position, trailing 5-2.
So no score differential change. Schultz still up by 3.
Schultz switches and escapes. I think 195 could be one of the most exciting brackets in the conference tournament.
Definitely. They've got some good parity from top to bottom in that bracket. It could get very interesting. 1 upset, 2 upsets, and it could change the whole dynamic of everything. And
we'll have that here on 302 Sports, folks, at the end of the season in February. The Henlopen Conference Championships will be brought to you by Sodell Concepts, one of our sponsors during the season, and our sponsor. Oh, overthrows the overhook, not there. Goes lat drop.
And near fall.
Holding 2. And they're going to go out of bounds, and that's going to tie the matchup.
He might give one to Schultz here for loss of control. No. Putting him back on there.
And he wants to go back to his Coach Parsley wants to go back to his feet. And that's what they're going to do. Free release for Schultz, and the coaches are saying stay out of the tie-ups.
You've got to. You've won some and you've lost some, and you don't want to lose a match on some.
Minute to go here at 195 pounds. 6-5 lead for Zach Schultz, the number 5 wrestler in the state, up against the number 4 wrestler in the state in Eric Bennett, state finalist last year at 195 pounds. And Bennett's starting to look a little weary.
Yeah, he's all forward, hunched over.
Reaching with 2 hands. But like we saw the explosion on that last throw.
I think you're going to see one final gap from him. And Schultz comes out on top.
I don't even know what to call what happened there.
I'm not sure.
It was a big man flurry.
Yeah, all I know is Zach Schultz is on top right now.
That's right. Looking for the fall with 5 seconds to go. So we're going to have an upset in the rankings with a 12-6 decision for Schultz. And the Indians get back on the board, 50-12, and we'll move to 220.
220, you got Anthony Diaz from Milford, junior, 14-1 on the year. He's number 2 in the 302 Sports rankings. He'll be going up against T.J. Burke, a freshman, 12-14 on the year for the Indian River Indians. Diaz started the year out at heavyweight, I believe, correct?
Yes. They had to get that football weight off.
That's always fun, putting it on for football, losing
That's
it for
right.
wrestling. I don't miss those days. I just put them on now.
It's easier to just put them on. I'm doing very well at that. Diaz was the conference champion last year at 220 pounds. I believe he beat Billy Ott out of Cape Henlopen.
220 is another weight class that has some good
Yes,
depth
it does.
to it.
Throughout the state, definitely. Maybe 4 deep in the conference, but throughout
Yeah.
the state. And it's the one where everybody's beating everybody. And there's been a lot of changes in that.
That seating meeting is going to be real fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, Diaz, to his advantage, is beating everybody he's faced. So someone had to be at heavyweight.
And it's funny how those seating meetings work. Sometimes they count for people and sometimes they
That's
don't.
right.
Depends on who wants to argue what.
Going to go out of bounds, no score, with 1:09 to go. Well, at 220, you got, Ott has dropped down to 195 now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to take your conference finalist out, but you still have some pretty decent guys in there. And that's a weight where the upstate is in the mix with Somerville from Charter and
Kid from AI as well, too, I believe, correct?
yes. And Seda from Hudson.
Yep. And then you have Hawkins from Sussex Tech.
Right. State finals last year. And Harp, the number 1 guy from Dover.
Returning state champ from 195,
Right.
or 220.
220, yep. .32 seconds on the restart. 0-0 here at 220. Heavyweight's going to be a pretty good matchup, too. 2 ranked wrestlers. We're in a blowout duel, but we got 3 really good ranking matchups in here tonight.
And that's what, sometimes the team score can get lopsided, but you still got those individual matches that are very intriguing to watch. And sometimes you could have tight matchups all the way through, and it just takes losing all of them.
Right. Diaz going with the slide by, unable to get to the legs, under 10 seconds to go. Diaz last year, he was the master of winning the 1-point match, man. I mean, he counted on that coin flip.
He loved the coin. I don't know what he did, but it worked in his favor last year.
Injured in the, I believe, the semifinals of the States last year, was unable to continue. So ended up placing 6th.
That's a real shame. You hate these injuries. I'm sure both of these teams are fighting the injury bug right now with a couple kids. I hope they're all back in time for dual meet tournament and individuals.
Diaz able to get to his feet, scores the escape 1-0. Oh, high attempt, a high crotch by Diaz. And Diaz looks like he's a little frustrated with the freshman. His stuff's not working.
It's not. That's what I was just going to say. Burke's doing a nice job of hanging in there. Diaz being very aggressive. Burke's got to do a little bit more circling for me, or I think a stall call maybe.
He has a warning already. Yeah, Diaz controlling the center of the mat. And you called it, Mark.
And it's such a hard line. Everybody wants to talk about the kid backing out, but sometimes you get a kid pushing straight in.
Right.
It's a little more difficult.
I think the biggest thing there where Diaz gets that call is he's controlling the circle.
Of course.
And he's attempted a couple shots, and they weren't just they weren't fakes. They were decent shots. But Diaz leads 2-0. Under a minute to go here in the second period. He looks like he's going double under here. Maybe that's an over-under. I can't see what's going on. Oh, that's an over-under on the left side. Looking to foot sweep. Gets to the single leg. And going to bring it up mid-level.
You're going to bring it back to the circle.
Right, look at the trip and takedown for Anthony Diaz. And I think there's some relations with the Mejias and the Diazes.
Okay.
I know they travel together, that's for sure.
A lot of relations down here in this
That's
county.
right. 4-0 lead for Anthony Diaz. Milford Buccaneers looking to get that conference title back that they believed was theirs, but 2 losses last year during the season. Be interesting, Mark, to see how the D2 seedings go team-wise. Caraval, they could meet Milford this weekend.
Yes, they could. They have some very good kids in that room as well. A lot of young kids, just like Milford does.
Right.
They don't have as much as that veteran depth, which will probably come into play for Milford.
And where Milford has to win that match is the pins up. They got pin up top.
Yep. And they also have to win the forfeits because Caraval does have a couple of those.
Right.
Got to take advantage of getting that extra points and winning those toss-ups.
And there's another stall call on Burke. And it makes it a 5-0 lead for Anthony Diaz. Diaz, only a junior. Back to the over-under. A little inside trip there. Not good to the mat. Trips again, goes to a leg, and they go out of bounds with 1:24 on the clock.
You got Diaz trying to go inside, Burke trying to go outside. It's just not working for him. Burke trying to be aggressive with the over-under here.
Minute 12 on the restart. Goes to throw that underhook, not there. Approaching a minute to go in the match. I tell you, Diaz, he's throwing a lot at him. Burke doing a good job circling away.
Backing away.
Now he's backing away, yeah.
And
I thought he was looking side headlock there.
Yeah. I think if he backs out again, you might get a stalling in 2 here.
Right. Tell you what, he appears to be coachable. Looking back to the bench to his coach, Jeff Lindish. And
you can't ask for much more than that, you know. Especially being a freshman all the way up at 220. That's a huge learning curve in itself.
Yeah. Diaz snaps him down, looks to go behind, and does. Takedown for Anthony Diaz and a 7-0 lead. Breaks him down to the mat. 15 seconds to go. Diaz looking for a turn to get the major decision.
I think if I'm Coach Parsley, I might get on him a little harder just to see how much I can push him.
Yeah, because you got state duels coming up and a couple big matches, and you're going to need bonus.
Yep.
That's going to make it 54-12 for the Bucks. As we come to our final match of the night, 285 pounds.
You got number 6, Jacob Bryan from the Milford Bucks. He's a senior at 13-5. And Ramon Turner from the Indians. He's a junior, 15-4 on the season.
Turner ranked number 5.
And these guys have wrestled once or twice this year as well.
Yes, they have. Underway, the final match of tonight. Folks, at the conclusion of the match, we will have a Hammer of the Night presented to you by the Henlopen Hammer Wrestling Club. Our outstanding wrestler of the night. Mark and I will put our minds together.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking.
Bryan to the 2-on-1. And Turner controlling that top hand. Now he digs in an overhook on the right side.
Double unders for Turner there. Under and collar.
If nothing else, Jacob Bryant's positioning as a heavyweight. Good head position, keeps his hips low. He could be a surprise down the stretch here, heading towards the end of the season.
And it looks like it might be a little difficult to him with his height differential.
Right. Heavyweight's going to be wide open, too. You know, after you got the 2 big guys who are wrestling tonight, yeah. Shermer and Kevin Hudson. But there's 3 to 6. There's another 4 guys under this. You know, you got the Dunham kid from Christiana who has been in and out. He was ranked at number 5 at one time, and a couple tough losses at the Hattie Duncan tournament. But
yeah,
it's a very competitive weight class, and it hasn't been for years.
No. That's what I was sitting here thinking. 95, 220 in heavies the last few years has been one or two
guys. Yeah.
And this year you're talking about all this parity. It's good to see for the sport. You got Blood Time Red, and Turner will be taking down once they return.
First, we're going to take a quick timeout while we clean up this blood, and we'll be right back with the last match of the night at 285 pounds.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
And welcome back to Indian River High School in Dagsboro, Delaware. The Milford Buccaneers and the Indian River Indians. We're getting ready to get underway. Second period at 285 with number 5, Raymond Turner from Indian River, and number 6, Jacob Bryant of Milford. You know, at heavyweight, here's where matches are won at heavyweight. Can you ride? Can you take some time off that big guy? And he does, and he cuts and scores 1-0 for Raymond Turner, which gives him the advantage in any overtime if we get to the ultimate tiebreaker.
2 years ago, I remember watching. Everybody just wanted the first get out because they knew they were going to the ultimate
That's right.
ride out.
That's right. Minute 11 to go. And we approach a minute. 1-0, Raymond Turner. The junior 15-4 record. And Bryan 13-5. Bryan unable to go to the mat for most of the early part of the season as Diaz was getting his weight down to 220.
Yeah, and I was interested to see, was Diaz going to go down and stay down? Was he just going down for dual meet purposes? What was going to happen there?
He's going down and staying down. Not sure Diaz has the height and frame to wrestle 285 at the state tournament. I mean, 220. He's still going to put up with a man in Hugo Harp at 220, but
he's very aggressive.
Diaz knows how to slow things down too.
And sometimes it's good to cut that little bit of extra weight you got carrying around. Makes you a little quicker, feel a little better.
Harp, the surprise state champ at 220. I think it was seed like 6 or something.
7, yeah. He came out of the bottom, so he had to be 6.
So we move to the third period, 1-0. Lead for Raymond Turner, and Bryan is going to go bottom position.
We'll see how long Turner can ride here.
Bryan gets to the quad stance. Now he rises up, and he escapes 1-1 at 285. Yeah, back as a kid growing up, I remember 285 was always the most exciting match of the night. It was the last match, and you normally ended in a pin. But the style of heavyweight wrestling has changed. Now it's a lot of overtime matches.
Everybody's, there's a lot of weight you don't want to get underneath. Nobody wants to take any leg attacks or anything like that. It's get out. Hopefully you can ride, and if not, let's see what we can do in overtime.
Minute 25 to go here in the third period. All knotted up at 1-1 between Jacob Bryan and Raymond Turner. 6th and 5th, respectively, in the state at 285.
I'm like you. I always remember heavyweight being last match of the night. It was usually something crazy going on. And now they cause you to yawn every once in a while.
Okay, yeah. A lot of underhooks, and then they threw in 220. And so sometimes you get 2 dances a night. You never know. But 220 didn't disappoint us with Diaz putting 7 points on the board. Now we're 1-1 here, but 1-1 with some action. It's just, people don't watch a lot of wrestling, don't see the actions going on. Both guys are digging, they're pummeling, they're working for position. There's been no stall calls in this match.
No, which is, in heavyweight match, you're used to seeing stall calls. Like you said, you got to be an avid and intrigued wrestling enthusiast to understand what's going on.
To enjoy a match like this, 25 seconds to go here in the third period. We could be headed to free wrestling, but it's always free here on 302 Sports. So a little extra wrestling. It always seems the big guys find a way to get there. Oh, headlock by Bryant, not there. Body lock here by Turner. And Bryan able to break the lock, and we're going to 5 seconds left here in the third period, and we're going to go to overtime, folks. Overtime number 1. Mark, explain what happens at overtime number 1.
All right, overtime number 1. We're going to go on our feet. 1 minute period. First person to score wins. Takedown, unsportsmanlike, hands to the face, as you saw last weekend in the big college dual meet.
Right.
Whatever it is, first point awarded will be the winner. Maybe we'll get to the ultimate ride out and I can explain everything.
That's it.
It was like both guys looked at each other and said, all right, we got 15 seconds. Let's try and do something right quick.
That's right. 33 seconds to go. Headlock by Bryant. Turner in the rear position. 28 seconds to go. Bryant fighting his grip. And down he goes. Takedown for Raymond Turner and the win. So outstanding end to the night as the Indian River Indians get to 15 on the board. Folks, we're going to take a quick time out. We're going to grab our wrestler of the night, and me and Mark are going to talk about it a little bit. Folks, we'll be right back.
Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Bryan has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Bryan's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Bryan is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Bryan today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Bryan has helped over 1,000...
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
And welcome back to Indian River High School, folks. It's time for the Hammer of the Night, the Hammer Award presented by the Henlopen Hammers Wrestling Club. Mark, who is it and why?
At 113 pounds for Milford, Jack Cody, he comes out. He's a number 3 ranked wrestler coming into a big match, 1 versus 3 as a freshman. Gets a fall over number 6 302 sports ranked wrestler Ian Shabak. His performance earns him the Henlopen Hammer of the Night.
Thank you, Mark. Folks, we'll be right back. 30 seconds with Jack Cody as we interview tonight's Hammer Award winner.
I'm Sarah, the Director of Events at Baywood Greens. Planning a wedding is an exciting and wonderful time. Let us help you make it great. Our experienced team of hospitality professionals coordinate and execute every detail to provide a stress-free experience so you can focus on the moment. From food to flowers, we prepare everything on site, tailored to your vision. Let Baywood Greens transform your next event to a memorable experience.
And welcome back to Indian River High School here with tonight's Hammer Award winner, Jack Cody. And he's not only the Hammer Award winner, he is a hammer. Came through the club, so get to represent the club a little bit. Talk about your match. It's the second match of the night. It's number 1 Milford versus number 3 Indian River. And you're going to go out against a ranked wrestler, you being ranked yourself. And you not only just get the win, you go out and you get the fall, and you put your team out 12-0. Talk a little bit about the situation going into the match.
Well, I knew that as we were going through the match that he was going to give me a run, and I had to really go out and give it my best and get the team the 6. So as we were going, I found myself in a situation where I can get the cradle, and then when I got the cradle, I knew it was pretty much good. And
you're up against Ian Shabak, who just did come into a big win over Brandon Pike, who was the number 6 guy. Shabak comes in. That's got to present a little bit of a not concern, but maybe and I got to be a little careful here. And he did do some things early in the match that put you in positions I didn't think you didn't look like you liked being in. But he got the reversal, but you were able to you composed yourself. And talk about your composure and the mental part of it coming through and getting to that cradle.
Well, there's always in practice all the time. We always work our situations, and we do a lot of play wrestling to where we get to situations we're not comfortable in. And when I found myself in a situation that I like to be in, it may not have looked like it, but I felt comfortable.
Good, folks. That's your Hammer Award winner, Jack Cody, the 113-pounder for the Milford Bucks. Folks, next week, Smyrna. Caesar Rodney, our match of the week. Thanks, folks. Have a good night. Your final score, Milford 54, Indian River 15.